We're ready, Mayor.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. It is 6:34. If everyone could please take your seat. I'm calling the meeting to order.
Hey, Commissioner Stuyvesant? Oh, excuse me. Commissioner Joseph,
Present.
Commissioner Lama,
Here.
Vice Mayor Viscara,
Here.
Commissioner Stuyvesant is here, Mayor Svechin,
Here.
all members present, ma'am.
Okay, we have an add-on item.
We-
Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance first. All right. Former Mayor Edelcup, would you like to lead us in the pledge? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have an invocation?
Not tonight, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a couple of changes to tonight's agenda. I'm sorry, we just have one change. We have an add-on request by Commissioner Joseph, and that's to add a resolution amending resolution number 2025-3862 relating to the recognition of Jewish Solidarity Day.
Okay.
Yes.
Do I have any opposition to that? We need to vote on that.
Yes,
I need a
please.
motion, please. I need a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it'll be added on as item 9Q.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank
So-
you, everyone.
Then we have the approval of the minutes of the March Commission meeting.
Okay, I'll take a motion.
Motion.
Need a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you. We can play your opening message, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate your attendance and thank you for joining us tonight. Before we begin, there are a few important reminders regarding conduct during our commission meetings. Please ensure all electronic devices are turned off or set to silent mode to maintain the integrity of our proceedings. Mutual respect is the foundation of productive discussions. We ask that everyone remain silent and attentive when someone is addressing the commission. Clapping, applauding, heckling, or any verbal outbursts, either in support or opposition of the speaker, are strictly prohibited. Any individual wishing to address the commission must fill out a public speaker's card and submit it to the city clerk before the relevant item is announced. Each speaker is granted a maximum of 3 minutes. Should you exceed this time, the chair will notify you to conclude your remarks. Speak directly to the agenda's points. Remain concise and avoid redundancy. Should an individual speak without the chair's permission or continue speaking after a warning, they may be escorted out of the chambers. It is essential to avoid making impertinent, slanderous remarks or becoming boisterous while addressing the commission. Such behavior may lead to being barred from future commission appearances, unless the majority of the commission members present vote otherwise. The presiding officer may disallow signs or placards in the commission chamber. Please exit the chamber quietly and without disruption. The goal of our meetings is to facilitate public input and participation. However, disruptive or disorderly conduct hinders our collective objective. Individuals who want to speak on an item on the agenda are asked to fill out a public speaker's card and give it to the city clerk before the item is called. Speakers are asked to speak to the issues, make comments concise and to the point, and refrain from making duplicate comments. All speakers will be limited to 1 3-minute comment per item. If you exceed the 3-minute allotment, the chair will advise you to finish your comment. If you speak out of turn without permission from the chair and/or you do not cease speaking after one warning, you will be escorted out of chambers. In order to maintain orderly conduct and/or proper decorum at these meetings, anyone who interferes with the orderly process of the meetings after a warning may be removed from the meeting and may be barred from further appearance before the City Commission, as permitted in S-286, 0114, FS and SS 74-5 and 74-21 of the City's Code of Ordinances. Any necessary removal will be made at the direction of the mayor and will be carried out by law enforcement or a designated sergeant-at-arms. It is essential that attendees adhere to these rules of procedure to ensure productive meetings that serve both the public and the City Commission. Thank you for your cooperation and understanding.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I see a lot of familiar faces, so thank you for coming back. And I know that most of you know this already, but especially for those watching, I just want to add an additional reminder that we do follow Robert's rules here. Please adhere to the 3 minutes. We want to make sure that we maintain decorum. Any items that you're going to speak on, you direct them to me, the chair, not any individuals on the commission. We don't start attacking anyone on the commission. Likewise, I ask my colleagues that we maybe disagree with an item, but not the person. Ultimately, we're here to do the city business, but also hear from you as well. So we want to make sure that you get your allotted 3 minutes. And if at any point you decide that you changed your mind, you can just go ahead and say you don't want to speak at an item. But once the public comment is closed, it's closed. So if you just want to speak on a few items, go ahead and fill it out, and then you don't have to if you don't want to. Okay, Mauricio, go ahead.
Okay, so the first item that we have on the agenda are zoning applications, and I'm going to read the zoning introductory statements. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening's agenda has 2 zoning applications, and the City Commission will be conducting public hearings to review and consider these applications. In these matters, the City Commission sits in a quasi-judicial capacity and will hear testimony from city staff, the applicants, and members of the public. The materials attached to the agenda are considered part of the record, as well as any additional documentary evidence that is introduced and accepted into the record during the hearings. If you intend to speak or provide testimony on any zoning application, you must be sworn in by the city clerk, and you should also fill out a public speaker's card and give it to the city clerk before the agenda is called. When you are called to speak, please state your name on the record, your address, and whether you've been sworn in. Please make your comments concisely. As a matter of procedure, the city staff will present first. After city staff has made their presentations, the applicants will make their presentations in support of their applications. Thereafter, the hearings will be open to members of the public to speak in support of or against the pending applications. The City Commission may set reasonable time limits for members of the public to speak. After members of the public speak, both staff and the applicants may make additional statements or rebuttal, and the applicants have the right to cross-examine any witness. Thereafter, the public hearing portion of the item will be closed, and the Commission will commence deliberations and make a decision on the application. Ultimately, the decision made by the City Commission at the conclusion of the hearings must be based upon competent substantial evidence which has been presented during the course of the hearings and must adhere to the essential requirements of the law. Competent substantial evidence is defined as evidence that is sufficiently relevant and material that a reasonable mind would accept as adequate to support the conclusion reached, and includes the documentary evidence in the record, the city staff report, comments or opinions of professional staff, fact-based comments of neighbors, residents, and persons, and opinion testimony, but only by witnesses who are qualified as experts. Competent substantial evidence does not include conjecture, speculation, or generalized opinions or statements in support or in opposition of the matter. Attorney testimony is generally not competent substantial evidence unless the attorney has some expertise in a relevant area. So now, in accordance with the LDRs of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, and all items to be heard today have been legally advertised, notices have been mailed and posted on the properties. All persons wishing to speak at this hearing, please raise your right arm to be sworn in. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. So the first item that we have is 5A, which is a request of Leslie Edelman for a site plan modification of a unit separation for the property located at 17901 Collins Avenue, unit TS 3405-0607.
Okay.
And before we move forward, are there any ex-parte communications that need to be disclosed?
None for me.
None for me.
None.
No. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners. This is zoning application PZ 2026-03 for a site plan modification at the estates at Aquilina. This is specifically regarding a particular unit located in the South Tower. The address is TS 3405-0607. I'll get into why it has those 3 addresses in just a moment. The owner and the applicant is Leslie Edelman, and this is located in the estates at Aquilina at 17901 Collins Avenue, located on the east side of Collins, zone mixed-use resort. The specific request is to separate this combined unit into 2 units. Currently, the unit takes up the entire 34th floor of the south tower. So this is the existing floor plan of the unit as it stands today. When the project was originally approved in 2014 and 15, this was supposed to be a 2-unit floor. And then when the project was additionally modified in 2018, it was approved as having 3 units on the floor. In 2022, the developer requested a minor site plan modification to combine all 3 units into 1, and that's what's before you right now. It's 1 combined unit for the entire floor. And the proposal is to split the unit into 2. What's on the screen delineates the 2 units by color, so there's 1 in blue and 1 in orange. This is going to be achieved by closing off of some of the doorways and constructing a new demising wall. By doing the separation, it's increasing the project density from 234 to 235 dwelling units, which is still below the maximum number of dwelling units for the project, which is 487. So staff finds this application to be consistent with the comp plan and the land development regulations. The applicant's representative is here tonight, and I'm also available if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
How many square feet is the entire space?
Is the which space?
The entire space, undivided.
I'll look at the plans and answer that when I come
Okay,
back.
thank you.
All right, does anyone have any questions? No?
I'm curious, does the unit that's the blue unit, I guess we'll call it that, does that have any windows? Or is that like surrounded by the other unit?
Go ahead, Amy.
Okay, thank you. So what's highlighted in blue is facing Collins Avenue, and it
I
does
see.
have a balcony,
I see.
which is
Okay.
the white part, and it has 2 bedrooms facing Collins Avenue. So it does
Oh,
have
Okay.
windows. But yeah, it looks like the orange one is
Yeah, I
kind of
thought
like a
it was- I
horseshoe
thought it was-
shape.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm getting the square footage for you.
Thank
now.
you. Appreciate
All
it.
right. Can I get a motion?
Move.
Second,
Mauricio?
Excuse me. Commissioner Lama,
Yes.
Commissioner Joseph,
yes.
Vice Mayor Viscara,
Yes.
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
Yes.
Mayor Svechen.
Yes.
The application is approved 5-0.
Okay, next item.
Next item is 5B, request of Dryco Garment Care LLC for a sign ordinance variance for the property located at 18660 Collins Avenue. And are there any ex parte communications for this application?
None by me. Anyone else?
No?
No?
None?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, good evening. This is zoning application PZ 2026-04 for a sign variance. The applicant is Martin Lopez, the owner of the business called Dry Eco Garment Care, which is located in the Millennium Plaza at 18660 Collins Avenue in Suite 100. The property is located on the west side of Collins Avenue, and it is zoned neighborhood business, or B1. The request is to increase the permitted wall sign area from 28.5 square feet to 96.4 square feet. This is the existing storefront and the sign that is facing Collins Avenue. The applicant's request for the sign variance is due to decreased visibility from the bus shelter that has been installed. But I will allow the applicant to expand on that aspect a little bit further. As you can see here, the existing green Dry Eco sign is located on the ground floor of the storefront, just above that orange awning. And this is the proposed sign. The storefront is 28 feet and 5 inches in linear width, and therefore the maximum size of the wall sign is 28.5 square feet. The applicant is requesting a variance from this in order to allow a wall sign with a maximum size of 96.4 square feet, and it's going to be located on the upper parapet wall where the Miami Juice sign is also located. The zoning code has 3 specific criteria for reviewing sign ordinance variances, and this application meets some of those criteria, but not all of them. The limited visibility of the storefront from the bus shelter is a condition that the applicant did not create, and the proposed sign is not contrary to the public interest. However, literal enforcement of the sign regulations would not result in an unnecessary hardship, as the business could install a wall sign that is compliant in size. So with that, the applicant is also present tonight, and they'll be available if you have any questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions? No? I neglected to see if we have any public speakers.
Yes, there are no public speakers for either one.
Okay. Vice Mayor, did you have a question?
Do we have a rendering of what a compliant sign would look like?
I do not have one with me, no. But the applicant is also here if maybe he has.
Maybe he has. I would like to have it, because what you're showing us is what they want, which is non-compliant. So I'd like to see it would be this, it would just be smaller, I guess. The same, just smaller font.
Right.
That would make it compliant if we just make it smaller font.
Yes.
Okay.
How much, I know that it's a little bit skewed because of the direction, but in reference, if we reference it to the Miami Juice sign, how much bigger or how big would it be compared to that if it was in compliance to Vice Mayor's point?
So the Miami Juice sign is 17.25 square feet, and the proposed sign is the 96 square feet. And so the rendering that's all the way to the left is to scale. So
It's to scale, okay.
the Miami Juice sign that you see, the green one, is the 17.25 square foot sign, and the proposed Dry Eco sign is the 96.4 square
So
feet.
Miami Juice could be bigger if they wanted it to be.
It depends on the length of their storefront, but I think it could be a few more square feet larger, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I need a second, please.
Second.
No. Mauricio?
Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Viscarro,
No, I think they can solve their problem by being compliant.
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
Yes.
Commissioner Lama,
Yes.
Mayor Svechen.
Yes.
The application is approved 4-1.
Okay.
Okay.
Move on to
So
ordinance.
now, ordinance is first reading. 6A is an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, amending Chapter 265, Article 2, Section 265-5, entitled Definitions, and Article 5, Section 265-17, entitled Subdivision Plat Approval of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, in accordance with the requirements of Section 177.071 Florida statutes, as amended by Senate Bill 784, and to align with certain procedures in Chapter 28 of the Miami-Dade County Code of Ordinances, providing for repealer, for severability, for codification, and providing for an effective date. This is first reading.
Okay.
Maurice. I believe he wanted to address the commission, right?
Okay, I'm sorry, Mayor, just to clarify, the applicant
Yes.
had some opposition to some of the conditions, if I'm understanding correctly, and he wanted to speak.
So he has, your item was approved, sir, you know that.
It was,
It's
It was
approved.
approved.
It's approved.
You're good to go.
Yes, yes,
Good luck.
yes, thank you.
Yes.
They have, wait, we approved it with conditions, right? I think he had.
He's
No,
objecting.
No, we approve it.
There's no condition.
No.
There is,
Okay, so, all right. I
No,
just
he's
wanted
good to go.
There are
No, there are
conditions.
conditions.
No, there's always,
in-
there's always,
Good
con-
luck, do a lot of business.
wait, can we,
Hold on.
please?
there's always conditions in your resolutions with regards
Yeah.
to approval. So, again, Amy can speak to what those conditions are, but there's always conditions that these approvals are subject.
Okay, so let's take a step back. Okay, Amy, can you clarify, please, what the conditions are?
Yes.
Do we need to reopen this
Yes, we do.
officially? Okay, I need a motion to reopen,
no, we need a, motion to reconsider.
So moved.
reconsider. Do we need a
I made it
roll
first.
call?
No, just all in favor.
Okay, All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, go ahead.
So there's 6 proposed conditions of approval that are in the staff report and in the resolution before you. It's the last one, is the one that I know the business owner wanted to speak about. The first 5 conditions are standard. It must comply with the approved plans. It has to get a building permit and comply with other city, state, and county laws. But the last condition, we were proposing that the sign shall be illuminated only during business hours. And I believe that's the one that the business owner wanted to speak about.
Okay, and the current sign is not illuminated?
The current sign is illuminated, yes.
24/7?
He can answer that.
Okay, please, okay, sir, yes. If you can give your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, yes, Martin Lopez. I represent Dryeco at 18660 Collins Avenue, Suite 100 in Sunny Isles Beach. So to answer your question, yes, it is illuminated, although it is currently broken, which is why we're replacing the sign as well. But normally we did have it illuminated 24/7. My understanding is part of the what we just spoke about is the brightness at nighttime. So for us, the main concern was restoring business visibility that we used to have. By turning off the sign during off hours, it does go back to that same issue. I am proposing, just dimming the light more at night to the point where we can still see that the business is there, that there's a dry cleaner there. It just wouldn't be as bright as during normal business hours.
Okay, I'm okay with that, but any comments from the commission?
I have
Any?
a question.
Please go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Is the business next door illuminated 24/7?
I believe they are, if I'm not mistaken,
I
yes.
just think it should be uniform, whatever it is should be uniform. You shouldn't give one business permission and then the other one doesn't have it.
If I remember
but
correctly,
I don't know what the
Miami-Dade
conditions
is,
are.
yeah. it
I don't
is.
know.
Anyone else? No?
I'm okay with it.
All right,
yeah.
so, Mr. City Attorney, how do we need to amend this in order to allow the dimming? Okay, but with the dimming, rather than,
As amended.
okay, so as amended, all right.
Thank you.
So, wait, don't go away. All right, I need a motion as amended.
And I'll second.
All right, Mauricio?
Okay. Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Viscarro,
Still a no.
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
Yes.
Commissioner Lama,
Yes.
Mayor Svechin.
Yes.
The application is approved 4-0
Thank
as
you.
amended.
Thank you. All right, now we're going to go on to the next item. You read it in,
I read it to the record, so
Okay.
we're on item 6A.
No other conditions. We're all set, right?
okay, go ahead. Let's keep decorum, let's go.
Okay, so this is an ordinance to amend the plating procedures and the land development regulations. This ordinance was initiated because of state legislation that was approved in 2025, specifically Senate Bill 784. And what that legislation says is that all counties and municipalities must administratively approve plats with no further action or approval required from the governing body. It also requires that the jurisdiction designate an administrative official who will receive, review, and process the application, and then an administrative official responsible for approving with conditions, or denying the plat application. So the proposed ordinance in front of you changes the platting procedures in our ordinance and our existing code to designate the planning and zoning director as the authority who will receive, review, and process the application, and the city manager as the administrative authority to approve with conditions, or deny the application. While we were doing this ordinance, and while we're at it, might as well fix another issue with it, which was our zoning code currently only gives us procedures for subdivision, which is when you take one lot and divide it into 3 or more properties. It didn't have a process if you need to do a replat or a lot split. So what we did was take the process and procedures from the Miami-Dade County Code, mimicked them, adjusted them to our community, and put them into this ordinance as well. So I'm available if you have any questions.
Thank you. Do we have public speakers, Mauricio?
We do.
Okay.
Martin Chaddock. Good.
Okay.
No worries.
Did you want to sign up for something else? Okay. Anyone else? All
No, ma'am.
right. Any questions from the commission? I'll take a motion, please.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Mauricio?
Vice Mayor Viscarro,
Yes.
Commissioner Stuyvesant, Commissioner Lama,
Yes.
Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Mayor Svechen.
Yes.
The ordinance is approved on first reading, 5-0.
Okay, next item?
Next item is 6B, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, creating Article 7 in Chapter 256 entitled Personal Delivery Devices and Mobile Carriers, and creating Section 256-50 entitled Safe Operation of Personal Delivery Devices and Mobile Carriers in the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, to establish regulations for personal delivery devices and mobile carriers operating within the city, providing for severability, providing for repealer, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for an effective date.
Okay, Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, we discussed this item at the last meeting, and you directed us to bring forth an ordinance that regulates mobile delivery devices. So we believe we've incorporated everything that you've asked for.
Okay. Do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Do we have any comments or questions from the commission? I'll take a motion, please.
Madam Mayor, before you do that, I think on Tuesday, there was some indication that the compliance period, instead of 6 months, should be 3 months. And I didn't know whether that was the will of the commission for us to make that change between first and second reading.
Okay. Is there support for that? Yes?
Yeah, I would
You
like
want
to see 3 months, yeah.
3 months?
Mm-hmm.
3 months?
Yes,
Okay,
3 months.
so as amended, okay. You need a revote?
Thank you.
We haven't voted
You
yet.
haven't voted.
Oh,
We need a
it's a
motion.
long day. I
So
need a
moved.
motion. Thank
Second.
you.
As amended.
As amended.
Thank you. Commissioner Stuyvesant, Commissioner Lama,
Yes.
Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Viscarro,
Yes.
Mayor Svechen.
Yes.
The ordinance is approved as amended on first reading. Second reading will be in May.
Okay. Next item?
Next item is 6C, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, approving a first amendment to the lease agreement between the City of Sunny Isles Beach and La Playa Beach Associates for the leased premises located at 18590 Collins Avenue, Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, authorizing the mayor to execute said lease amendment, providing for an effective date.
Mr. City Manager?
Susan?
Okay.
My apologies.
Deputy
Mayor,
Manager?
Vice Mayor, Commission. You entered into this lease in 2024 with an initial guaranteed term of 42 months, and they would like to add 24 months to that initial term for an initial term of 66 months. It will be, the rent is $10,000 per month with an annual CPI increase.
Okay. Do we have public speakers?
No, we don't.
You sure? Okay. All right, questions from the commission?
No questions.
I'll take a motion, please.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay.
Commissioner Lamo,
Yes.
Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Viscarro,
Yes.
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
Yes.
Mayor Svechen.
Yes.
The ordinance is approved on first reading, 5-0. Second reading is scheduled for May.
Okay.
We're on to ordinances for second reading. 8A is an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, amending Chapter 265, Article 9, Section 265-53, entitled Required Signs, No Permit Required, of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, requiring the posting of certain signs at community and commercial swimming pools, providing for repealer, severability, codification, and an effective date.
Okay.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is the second reading of our ordinance requiring addresses to be posted at pools.
Okay. Do we have any public speakers?
We do. Stephen Hirsch.
Stephen Hirsch, 17201 Collins. Just a quick follow-up from my comments from last month. And since you haven't had any speakers, I thought I'd be first.
Thank you.
The purpose of the ordinance is very good, and I strongly support the ordinance. It was the impact statement study that my comments were addressed to last month regarding Section 2A, regarding the costs, estimates, as well as Part 3 for the number of businesses affected. This ordinance will affect every condominium building that has a pool, every HOA that has a pool, and every hotel motel that has a pool. And my comments were that many of these facilities will require multiple signs, more than one, and that the purpose of the impact statement is to accurately give information to all of the business owners or condominium associations within the city so they know what is the potential impact upon them for purposes of budgeting, cost, etc. The day after the last meeting, I received an email from the city attorney basically thanking me for the comments and agreeing that they would be modified. In this impact statement, there was an adjustment that was made, basically including that there might be multiple signs required and there might be lighting for turtle purposes. Again, the ordinance I strongly support, but I just think it's really important that we give a fair cost estimate to our residents and all of our business owners in the city on any ordinances that we think we might be adopting. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. Any other speakers?
No other speakers, ma'am.
All right, any comments from the commission? I'll take a motion, please.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is an ordinance, we need a roll call. Mayor.
Oh, I apologize. Sorry.
Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Viscara,
Yes.
Commissioner Stuyvesant, Commissioner Lama,
Yes.
Mayor Svechen.
Yes.
The ordinances are adopted 5-0.
Okay. 8B.
8B is an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, amending ordinance number 2025-635, approving budget amendment number BA 252602 to the city's operating capital improvement budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year, authorizing the city manager to do all things necessary to implement the terms and conditions of this ordinance, providing for an effective date.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is the second reading of the budget amendment that we presented last month.
Do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
All right, any comments from the commission? I'll take a
No.
motion.
I'll make a motion.
No, I have a comment. So
Go ahead.
I'm gonna vote against it again, like last month, because of the no line items, breakdowns, no invoices, no material explanations. I had a big issue with the Intracoastal Sports Park. We just approved, or it passed, a $200,000 additional increase for change orders to the contractor, again without detail. The other $300,000, we don't know exactly also how they're gonna be used. So the details is not because I don't trust the staff. I do trust the staff. I just want more accountability and transparency for the purpose of being able to inform the people how we are spending the money. So because of that, and I know with this amendment.
I have a question to the city manager. Is this something that was requested and wasn't provided?
Not that I'm aware of.
Can you provide that so that we have that information?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
absolutely.
If I may, those were my comments of last month. That was my justification for voting against this item, is because, like I said, we didn't have the change orders, no the material explanation, no breakdowns, no line items. So I just don't feel comfortable, and I don't believe we should be voting without the full information. And that's the reason why I voted against the last month, the same reason why I'm voting no again.
Okay, thank you. I'll take a motion.
A motion was made, Madam Mayor.
That's right, I need a second.
So moved.
Second. He
Okay.
seconded.
Second.
Vice Mayor Viscara,
Yes.
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
No.
Commissioner Lama,
Yes.
Commissioner Joseph,
No.
Mayor Svechen.
Yes.
The ordinance is adopted 3-2.
Okay.
We're on to resolutions. 9A is a resolution of the City Commission of the City of San Jose Beach, Florida, approving an agreement with Millennium Products to upgrade the NVR server systems at Pier Park, Intracoastal Park, and Sampson Park.
And Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this upgrades our servers, and the new server is to be installed in the police department.
Do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Do we have comments or questions from the commission? I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next item, 9B.
9B is a resolution authorizing the expenditure of budgeted funds for the purchase of 9 police vehicles from Allen J. Fleet Sales.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this allows us to purchase 9 police vehicles, and we are ensuring that any recalls are handled.
All right, do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
During the agenda workshop, I had asked some questions. Deputy Manager, if you can just for the record, regarding how many vehicles we have currently, police vehicles? Because it often seems like we're constantly buying police vehicles is my point, so just
Yes,
so we
I
get a
just
count.
need to look it up really quick because I sent it to you yesterday. We currently have 53 marked units, 16 unmarked units, and 8 motorcycles. In spare, we have 10 marked with 6 to be auctioned, 6 unmarked with 3 to be auctioned.
Okay, thank you.
And the vehicles being purchased here will be replacement vehicles for what is current. So when we transition those out, the older ones will go out to auction, and these will become pool cars.
Got it. Does anyone have any questions?
And the auction then offsets some of the costs.
Right.
But yes, I agree. I do feel like we're always, but it's because they're
Cycling out.
exactly.
Right. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
I'll take a motion, please.
I'll make a motion.
Choose one to be the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, I'll
Okay.
second.
Okay. 9C is a resolution approving a second amendment to the agreement with Policing with a Passion to provide law enforcement consulting services.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is a second amendment with Policing with Passion Group, and they assist the chief with police matters, and including our city's red light camera program.
Okay. Do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Any comments from the commission? I'll take a motion, please.
I'll make a motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Mhm.
Next item.
9D is a resolution approving an agreement with Garland DBS for seal coating and waterproofing services for the Government Center parking garage.
Okay. Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is an agreement to waterproof the Government Center garage. We just completed the solar panels to provide some shade, but also to offset our energy cost. The garage is in need of maintenance, and this will be seal coating and waterproofing for the entire garage.
Do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
All right. During the agenda review, I had asked, just for clarification, that any leaks that are there, this is going to include correcting any of that and making sure that it's not just sealed, it's fixed.
Yes,
This amount includes
yes,
all of that?
Yes, it does.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Are there any other questions? Go ahead.
Also, during the agenda review, I had asked for, once the solar panels are operational, I would like to have a review and information regarding the efficiency of those solar panels.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I need a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next item.
9E is a resolution approving a First Amendment to the agreement with Argen Enterprises doing business as Cool Water Air Conditioning for preventive maintenance services of the HVAC management systems located at Gateway Park, Pelican Community Park, the Public Works Compound, the Spot, Heritage Park, and the Town Center Park Meditation Garden.
Okay. Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is the company that provides maintenance air conditioning services for numerous city facilities.
Do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Any comments from the commission? Go ahead.
During the
Commissioner
agenda
Joseph.
review, I had noted that Pelican Park is due for a reconstruction at some point. So any regarding the condition of the air conditioning at this time, I would ask that we don't put any large sums of money into that air conditioning system.
I think it was confirmed that that was the point. Yes, you're correct. Okay,
Yes.
I'll take a motion, please.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next item.
9F is a resolution authorizing the purchase of 14 bus shelters from Toller Manufacturing Company in an amount not to exceed $129,140.
Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this item, this company, we will replace 14 of our bus shelters throughout the city. It came up during the workshop, but we have 47 bus shelters in total.
Okay. Do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Any comments from the commission? I'll take a motion.
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next item.
9G is a resolution approving an agreement with J&J doing business as Eagle Painting for as-needed citywide painting and pressure cleaning services.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this company will provide painting services throughout various city facilities.
Public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Any comments from the commission? Nope. I'll take a
No.
motion.
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
9H is a resolution approving a second amendment to the agreement with Team Contracting for the installation of new pre-engineered metal building.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is a second amendment with Team Contracting for the installation of the prefab building, metal building at the William Lehman site. Originally, the engineering for this structure, it was considered that it be installed in a slab. We had this discussion during the workshop, and it was later determined that the slab would be insufficient to support the structure. So this re-engineers the slab and adds piling to support the structure.
It adds what?
Pilings. Pilings.
Pilings.
Piling.
Okay,
Pilings, yes.
Do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Okay, are there questions from the commission?
Just about the timeline, when are we expecting that to be finished?
Susan?
I believe this amendment brought it to July 30th of 2026.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Right. So just for clarification for the residents, this steel structure is at the end of North Bay Road behind the gate where the pump stations are. So we've now gone through, we've approved insulation for the building, soundproofing, and it turns out that originally the ground wasn't tested for viability, causing us to now have to put in pilings to avoid sinkage. So we're doing that now at an additional expense, but we've learned, again, our lesson to think ahead and look at the project more efficiently from the beginning.
All right, I'll take a motion.
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item, Mauricio.
9I is a resolution approving a Sixth Amendment to the agreement with Craig A. Smith Associates, consultants for civil engineering services for the Central Island Area Pump Stations and Drainage Improvements Project.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is a Sixth Amendment with Craig Smith for civil engineering for Central Island Area Pump Station and Drainage Improvements. We discussed this a little bit at the workshop. The issue was, originally when we first started looking at the drainage issues in Central Island, it was determined that we could try to use a pump station or 2 pump stations. Each time we bid it out, we tried to do a companion bid with North Miami Beach. The cost was doubling, tripling. So we ended up looking at the possibility of doing injection wells versus pump stations. So we studied that, and through careful study, it's now been determined that the original idea of putting pump stations is the only real effective way to eliminate the drainage issue that we have in Central Island. So we're going back, looking at those plans, updating them, and then going to bid that out again and bring that back to you. But I can tell you that the cost is significant. We've looked at other options, but truly the only way to solve it is going to be the installation of pump stations, which is going to include some substantial engineering and work.
And are you saying that it's going to actually solve for it or mitigate it?
We believe that this will provide a long-term solution, which is what we're looking at because of the substantial cost really in either option. We want a long-term solution versus short-term.
All right, do we have public speakers, Mauricio?
No, ma'am.
Any comments from the commission? Commissioner Joseph, go ahead.
Yes. So unfortunately, and I've made this comment previously, that spending bills like this that come before the commission, they come to us in such a short period of time. I have known about injection wells. I looked into them. I believe other commissioners had not and voted to spend money on the injection wells. That I was the only no vote. I knew they wouldn't work, and they were finally scrapped. Thank goodness. Years ago, the pump stations should have gone through, but the can was kicked down the road, and now they're the expense that they will be. But that is the only viable solution, and I'm all for the pumping stations.
Okay. Anyone else? I'll take a motion, please.
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, next item, please.
Next item is 9J, a resolution ratifying the expenditure of budgeted funds with the Landon Financial for Cisco Products and Professional Services, approving a lease purchase agreement with the Landon Financial, and approving a statement of work with R2 Unified Technologies to perform the related labor.
Okay.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, essentially this item involves networking and support for our camera systems throughout the city with our police department.
All right, do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Any comments from the commission?
No.
All right, I'll take a motion.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, next item, Mauricio.
9K is a resolution ratifying the expenditure of budgeted funds with Microsoft Corporation for software licenses.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is standard software licenses for the employees through Microsoft.
Any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Any questions from the commission? I'll take a motion.
So
Motion.
Second. Choose one, Mauricio. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. 9L is a resolution authorizing the city manager or designee to purchase various necessary equipment and amenities for parks and various city locations from Rep Services for fiscal year 2025-2026.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this allows for us to purchase various items needed for amenities throughout the parks in the city.
Do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Any questions from the commission?
Just to ask, what is an example of some of the amenities?
That is benches, tables, trash receptacles.
Okay, so those concrete tables that we had spoken of previously?
They do have some concrete tables. I think that's not the ones that we necessarily purchase from them, but yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Like always, I really urge caution to the commission when giving these blank purchase orders. We have a limit of $50,000 for a reason. Here we are giving a prepaid $100,000 gift card, and look like the whereas says, it said, whereas the vendor is willing and able to provide the products. We don't know which products are. Those are not defined anywhere. We don't have a list of the products. This totally bypass commission oversight. Again, it's essentially like a blank check for discretionary spending. We have a threshold of 50,000. So voting yes, literally it's just giving up our right to know what is actually being purchased. And it's our obligation to know what is it that we are purchasing. So I am a no for this, like before. It's not that I'm not trusting what we are doing, it's that for matter of oversight and transparency, this should be attached to this memorandum. And again, we have a $50,000 for a reason to go over that. I think we should be cautious when doing that. So I'm a no.
Okay. Do we have a list of the items that we purchased in the past for this similar amount?
Yes, so all of the items that are being purchased were in the budget under each department's capital outlay. So if you look there, they've requested to buy, like, for example, somebody asked the question the other day about in the bus shelters, is it a bench? No, those are
Right.
individual chairs.
So Commissioner Joseph.
So, yes, Commissioner Joseph. So all of those items that were detailed, itemized in the capital outlay for each department that purchases from them,
This covers
that
it.
count is in there, and I can absolutely get that for you by tomorrow morning.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but we are overpassing, again, the bidding process. So there may be more companies, better products, better materials. So we are piggyback with like Clay County, which is like a small rural area close to Jacksonville. So we have an amazing purchasing department. We should be able to do this in a more open way. So this is very uncomfortable to be giving blank purchase orders. You guys know what you're buying for it, so just attach it here. And then we have the full scope of information.
Any other questions?
I would think that's easy enough to do. It's not an unreasonable request.
I don't disagree. It's in the budget, so
Yes, so it's just a matter of listing.
So it's not in
listing
the
item.
resolution. Like, we never even knew how much money we were spending in the city anniversaries until I asked for it. Why? Because it was little pieces everywhere. So we cannot be voting by little pieces everywhere. Then suddenly we find out that we're spending around $300,000 in one evening party. So here is the same thing. If it's already in the budget, let's put it together, let's attach, let's give us the information. And again, we have a limit of $50,000 for a reason. So if we are going to continue giving just blank purchase orders, so why are we having that limit even? So this is not enough information to be giving that kind of rights. And it's our obligation to see how the money is being spent. And here we don't have the information. So if anything, I will make a motion to remove this item until next month, until we get more information.
okay.
Is there any reason that this can't be removed? Does this cause a delay that costs us additional funds?
I can tell you that the current market is very questionable. So delaying a purchase for some of these items by a month, prices could increase because we don't know what's happening with
Were
the market
these
right now.
expected to be purchased tomorrow?
They were expected to be purchased before next week, yes. I mean, we were going to issue the purchase order Monday, Tuesday after the resolution gets signed.
Which also to the point, so this is like predetermined, because it's known that the majority is going to go for whatever it is that is bring to us without any kind of oversight or discussion. So that basically is insulting.
Right, but for clarification, we approved the budget, which has these items in it. So
you know
it's
that they
not,
were there?
it's not a blank check.
Yes, it is. As of it is right now, the way it is in this whereas resolution, the resolution is one page without
No,
details.
Commissioner Susan, what I'm saying is that we have approved the city manager to move ahead with the city budget, which includes these items. So,
That's what we've been told.
Well, I have to, you said that you trust the staff.
Yes, I do.
Well, then you should be able
Trust
to.
and verify, so we could have a little bit more of information. We don't have enough information to be voting on this. We are just voting with this, with one page,
Okay.
saying the products, the guide, the people, the Clay County or whatever county, so this is not enough.
So for next month, you want an itemized list of every single item?
Oh, clearly, yes. I
Okay.
want more information. I don't want to overwhelm the staff with a request. But if, like we're claiming, everything is there already, so it can be put together and attached to this resolution. So we are comfortable that the $100,000 that we are authorizing for them to buy whatever, is it that the products that we are buying, we know what is it? Because that is our mandate, oversight.
How quickly would you be able to put that together?
I should be able to have it for you tomorrow. You know, they asked for 100,000 because that's what we've budgeted for, but it could vary. So Colin may need a picnic table sooner than Fabricio needs a trash can. So the $100,000 is for the whole, you know, the rest of this fiscal year, so that we could purchase as needed. They weren't planning to go out and get, I would have to find out from them what they needed immediately or what they were looking to purchase more quickly. But for example, in parks, they had 3 picnic tables at $18,000 budgeted and 4 trash recycling sets at 30. So right there is $48,000. And the Clay County piggyback is because this is our standard style that we use. So rather than having a hodgepodge of whatever, and the way of different, you know, trash receptacles and benches, we want them to be uniform and matching. And the way these work is they have a designated vendor. You know, you can't just, like, you can't choose a Sherwin-Williams paint and go to somewhere else. They'll match it close, but it's not the exact. So because this is the brand and style that we have, unless if we want to change that brand and style, that's why we were piggybacking. It's a more efficient way to purchase it.
Okay.
But like I said before also, and I agree with everything Susan said, by the way, but bidding is very healthy. And we have a great procurement department that is more than capable of doing this. So every time I go to this conference, we have like new products, new companies, etc., with better costs, better materials, solar panels, you name it. So it is healthy to put these things out there. Maybe there are products that we are not even aware of because we are not even trying to find them. So it's a healthy process. It is what we should be doing with most purchases, not all of them clearly. So, and my point with this resolution specifically is that I do not believe that we have the whole information to be voting on it. Because we don't know.
I'm not opposed to getting an itemized list.
So I make a motion to defer the item for next month.
May I?
Yeah, go ahead.
So right now, the purchase order that you want to send next week, right now it's at 48,000, right?
I honestly would have to check. You know, they wait until they get approval, and then now that they would have approval, they'll put together their order.
They meaning the heads of the department.
Correct, yes. So pretty specifically, I believe it's Colin and Fabricio.
Okay, but right now, we know that we need to buy $48,000 worth of product.
Oh, you can't do that.
They're asking for permission to purchase up to 100,000 with this particular company between now and September 30th. Could they go tomorrow and start shopping up to $49,900? Yes, they could do that
That's
and
what
then
I'm
come
trying to
back
get
to
at.
you.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, does it need to come to us? If like, let's say next week they're gonna purchase 40,000, and then they're gonna purchase, and it's been budgeted already. I mean, I'm just trying to understand
They could
why
do the
you would
first
need
order
right.
under 50, but as soon as they get near that, but it's more transparent to bring it all to you in the first place rather than piecemealing it. So we were trying to do it the right way.
No, I understand. I'm just trying to understand the process and why we're getting presented with this blanket purchase order of 100,000.
Part of it is because prices are fluctuating, and so they go to bid.
So-
And the
so-
way the
so-
bid is that it's a certain percentage off of catalog price, or off of, you know, the bid is a discounted rate. But if that,
What do you mean they go to bid? They go,
so the Clay County bid that we're
we're
piggybacking,
piggybacking off them. Mhm.
correct. It's typically a discount off of their catalog rate.
Mhm.
If the catalog rate changes next week because there's a fuel surcharge or there's anything else that's, you know, the ship is stuck somewhere, that we had that instance during COVID. If we delay it, we don't have a problem delaying it. It's just another month.
But the prices could go up.
They could, but I have no idea. Maybe
Or
they'll
they could go down too.
Maybe they'll go down.
Yes.
Yeah.
From our position, these are budgeted items. It was a legitimate procurement process as a piggyback to get a discount.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with
And
the
we were bringing
piggyback.
it to you for approval.
No, I'm just trying to understand, do you really need this approval? If you could go out and, let's say right now you have a $48,000 that you don't even need our approval, and then 2 months from now, you could go and buy the other stuff that you need in the.
But
That's
the problem-
bypassing our
But then I would have
authority.
to
But the-
come to you then.
But the problem, you
Whoa,
don't,
whoa, whoa, one per, one,
50,000,
one
if
at a
it's
you
time.
can't, you don't want to do that, because if legitimately we know we're going to go to this company and throughout this year spend $150,000, you don't want to start doing
I understand that. It
49.99,
looks
49.99,
bad. I
49.99,
understand that,
because
but
then
yeah.
we're circumventing you, which
Yeah.
we're trying not to do. That's why it's being brought to you
No, I
today.
understand that, but if you don't know all the products that make up the $100,000, or unless you could supply us that information, I just want to make sure that we're sticking to our rules, you know? I don't mind approving this with the caveat that you supply us tomorrow with, you know, the list of products with the prices that you want to purchase, you know? I understand that you need to move quick.
This is very much sticking with the
That's a good
rules.
idea.
We get estimates when we do our budget, which was a year ago right now. So, you know, at the time that they chose 12 trash cans at $12,000 and put it in the budget, you know, we don't want to buy them too early and have them sit in storage if I don't need them yet. But I also want to make sure that we spend the money this fiscal year.
Yeah, okay. Well, if we could just get the, a list of the products, I would appreciate that.
Yes.
So is that something that we can do, approve it with contingent on getting the list tomorrow?
I mean, you can, I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
I
can do
cannot
that.
tell you that the list will total 100,000 exactly. We're asking for up to 100,000. We will not exceed 100,000.
Yeah, we-
Tomorrow's list or Monday's list may be 40,000, 35,000.
You're just trying to build in the flexibility.
and again, you're limited to this particular vendor and the goods that they actually produce and sell that's listed in the piggyback. So you're constricted to the piggyback and the items that are listed in that. It's not like you can go to another company and spend that money for something else. You're still stuck with that vendor for those goods that are
Right.
in the piggyback.
And it's the
Can I ask
recommendation
that
of the staff to move forward with this.
So can I ask that we put it off, defer it for the month, have the list attached, and then we'll vote yes next month?
We don't need to be voting blindly. We will be voting blindly right now. So, like I said, I make a motion to defer the item pending
I'll
more
second it.
information.
Okay. Mauricio?
So we have a motion and a second. We just need all in favor. Or actually, you know, I'll request, roll
That's
call.
why I was asking you.
Sorry. Commissioner Stuyvesant,
Yes to the motion to defer.
Commissioner Lama,
No.
Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Viscara,
No.
Mayor Svetchin.
Yes.
The motion to defer is approved 3-2.
Okay, next item?
Next item is 9M, a resolution approving an agreement with Academy Bus for motor coach transportation services on an as-needed basis.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is the company that we use for bus services for our camps and field trips and students.
Okay, do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Any comments from the commission?
No.
No.
Okay, I'll take a motion, please.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next item.
9N is a resolution approving an amendment to the locally funded agreement between the City of Sunny Isles Beach and the Florida Department of Transportation for the rehabilitation, repair, and/or replacement of the Atlantic Isle Bridge, historic bridge.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commission. This is the locally funded agreement with FDOT for the bridge, the historic bridge in Atlantic Isles. They will cover 75% of the cost, but it is the city's responsibility to cover 25% of the cost, and they manage the entire project. We have previously paid I keep losing that, $1,023,409, and we will owe a balance of $641,771. And that is due to the fact that they went from a rehab project to a full replacement project. So the cost increased.
Okay, and just for the benefit of the record, can you just clarify what it's going to look like and why we're talk about this so much?
Sure.
Well, actually, let me hold off. Do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
All right, go ahead.
So, because it is historic, they are going to, they have to rebuild it to FDOT standards for a vehicular bridge that will have a pedestrian path. So it will have to meet all of that FDOT requirements, and they will salvage as much of the coral rock that they can to create from the outside the facade of looking like the historic bridge that currently sits there.
Okay. Any questions from the commission? Take a
No
motion.
questions. Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item, please.
9O is a resolution approving the issuance of a proclamation recognizing April 18th, 2026 as Autism Soccer Day.
Okay.
This is a proclamation to given next year. Next month. I just got it a few days ago, and it's to approve the issuance of a proclamation recognizing April 18, 2026 as Autism Soccer Day in support of Autism Soccer. That's an organization which mission is to provide inclusive recreational opportunities for individuals on the autism spectrum while promoting awareness, community engagement, and the benefits of adaptive sports.
Do we have any public speakers?
We do. Ken Percy.
Okay. I know we know you can, but please, your name and address for the record.
Thank you. My name's Ken Percy. I live at 200 Sunny Isles Boulevard here in Sunny Isles Beach. My sister's working career has been supporting people with autism all of her life. I think this is a really welcome initiative, bringing more awareness to this particular life challenge is just a wonderful thing. So thank you so much for this. I'm just going to remind the Commission also that April the 19th is National Bicycle Day, and that has been recognised since 1865. That's something we should also be recognising.
National what? Bicycle Day?
National Bicycling Day.
Oh, I didn't know
since
that.
1865.
Wow.
Thank you.
For next year, we have to do it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any
You missed the
comments from the
workshop
commission?
earlier, Ken.
Yes.
We're not going back and forth, guys.
Yes.
Please, let's maintain decorum here. Any comments from the commission?
No.
All right, would you like to make a motion on your item?
Yeah, sure. Make a
I
motion.
need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next item.
9P is a resolution waiving the requirements of the sponsorship guidelines and approving the sponsorship package for the Miami-Dade County League of Cities 72nd Annual Gala.
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Joseph, your item.
So I was asked by Assistant City Manager Susan Simpson to put this on the agenda. I had no problem with it, so let's have the discussion.
Okay, do you want to just clarify what your item is?
We have whether to sponsor the Miami-Dade League of Cities dinner. So that would be a $5,000 contribution.
Okay, do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
All right, Any comments from the commission? Commissioner Lama, did you want to say something?
I thought we had discussed this during the workshop that
Yes,
we
but
were
need-
not going to move ahead and just buy tickets individually on this?
No,
or-
we discussed, the workshop was to bring the item to vote on right now,
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
so.
I thought we decided that we weren't gonna vote on it.
Yeah, I thought that we were like,
Yeah,
yeah.
but that's
I understood
thought-
the opposite.
That's
Okay.
fine, okay.
It's all right. yeah.
Okay, so can I get a motion?
Make a motion.
You want a
I'll
second?
second it.
Mauricio, do you want to take a?
Yes, please. Vice Mayor Viscara,
No.
Commissioner Stuyvesant. Commissioner Lama.
Yes.
Yes, to waive the guidelines.
What?
To waive the guidelines,
Yes.
correct? Yes, okay. Just wanted to be clear.
Yeah.
Commissioner Joseph.
Yes.
Mayor Svechen.
No.
The resolution passes 3-2.
Okay, next item?
We now have the add-on item 9Q. It's a
Yes.
resolution amending resolution number 2025-3862 relating to the recognition of Jewish Solidarity Day.
Yes, so this is my item. Originally, we had it, the resolution passed. The only problem was that it had a date certain, which, when speaking with the rabbis, it turns out that we need to have this celebration on Lag BaOmer, which that day changes every year. This year, rather than as the resolution is, that the event would be on May 3rd, which is a Sunday. We need to have it on Lag BaOmer, which is May 5th, which is the following Tuesday. So I'm asking not to change the event, but to just, in the resolution, to make the day to going forward to be whatever day Lag BaOmer happens to be in that year. For 2027, it would be on May 25th. So it changes each year according to the, not the Roman calendar.
So just for clarification, you're changing it to the resolution to celebrate
based
Lag BaOmer.
No, no, it would be, the Solidarity event would be on the same day as Lag BaOmer.
Can you tell us what that is, please? I don't know what that
Lag
day
BaOmer
is.
is,
Wait, let me see if there's any public comment.
I apologize.
There is no public comment, but if I can just add something, Madam Mayor. The resolution was, this current resolution that you're considering right now, it was written to leave the date open-ended. So
Oh, it was open-ended?
Yes, for a day
So-
in the month of May annually.
oh, I thought we had it the first Sunday in May of
We
every
did.
year.
That's what we're amending right now with this resolution. So
Yes.
the current approval is for the first Sunday of every May annually.
Yes.
This resolution that you are now considering voting on is amending that resolution to now leave it
Well,
open-ended for,
We don't need to have it open-ended, because I was given a calendar for the next 10 years by Rabbi Kaller, giving me the exact dates, so we could actually load in the exact dates for each year.
okay. Well, that can be done administratively. This just gives you more flexibility in the case that you may want to change it for whatever reason to another day.
Well, it would have to be because of, and I learned myself, that because we intend to have music and dancing at the event, and when the event is on a date, which is between 50 days between Passover and Shavuot, you cannot have celebrations such as this. Only on the one-day Lag BaOmer is permitted.
Can you spell that, please?
Okay, yeah, can you,
I don't know what that is.
so
Tell me.
can you,
L-A-G.
L-A-G.
Apostrophe O-M-E-R.
L-A-G-E apostrophe
L-A-G space E
Mhm.
apostrophe
Mhm.
O-M-E-R, I believe. If you
O-M-E-R.
Google that, it should come up.
I'm
All
trying
right.
to Google it.
if
'cause
you
I
can
don't know what
answer
it is.
Vice Mayor's question,
But it-
please.
But
Okay.
the event that was planned is not connected with Lag BaOmer, except that it's on the same day allowing religious people to celebrate.
So you want to change it was originally May 3rd, because you said
May
the
3rd.
first Sunday in May is what you originally said.
Yes.
Now you want to change it to match
Match a
this
date
day.
that would allow for more residents to celebrate the most religious, plus where the entire city is invited.
Mhm.
But if we don't have it on the Lag BaOmer date, which happens to be May 5th this year, it precludes some religious residents from attending.
Okay, so you want it to be on Lag BaOmer Day? Like
I
May,
want it to
May
be
5th
on May
is,
5th.
which is this
It
day.
just happens to be that date.
May 5th would be a Tuesday.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
But that's the only day where I can have, where it's allowed for a certain number, I don't know what that number is, to attend.
So it can't be the 6th or the 7th or the 8th. It has to be the 5th.
No, yes.
Okay, because it aligns with this
And on the
holiday.
next year, it would be on May 25th.
Mayor.
Which is when that holiday lands next year.
It's that particular day that allows for more people to attend.
More people being the religious Jews
people,
who would be able
plus
to not dance and have music and enjoy it on the Sunday.
To join everyone else that attends, yes.
So the devout, and
They're
I
trying
may
to
not
make
be
it
using the right
religious,
words, and I
but
apologize.
it's not religious.
So the devout would not be able, I don't know if that's the right word, by the way, but a particular sect of the Jewish community.
The Orthodox.
Would not be able to
The people that are
participate.
extremely
Let me
Orthodox.
finish so that I can, so you
I'm-
can
well,
hear
I'm
my
trying to
question. I
clarify
know,
for
but if
you.
you let me
Let
finish,
Vice Mayor-
then you can answer
She has
me,
the
because
floor.
I'm trying to ask you a question. So I'm trying to understand, because this is completely new to me, okay? So you're saying that there's a segment of religious Jews, I don't know if they're Orthodox, you can clarify that in a second, who would not be able to participate on May 3rd.
Correct.
But who would be able to participate on May 5th.
Correct.
Because this holiday allows them to do that.
Yes, correct.
And this is a holiday.
This particular day.
Okay.
Yes, which I'm moving it to that day to allow for more people to attend.
Mr. City Manager, Attorney?
Yeah, I was just going to mention to the city clerk's point, though, the way that the resolution's been drafted, it's changing it to a date to be determined within the month of May each year, so that would give you flexibility, since every year it's going to be a different date, to just that year set it at a different date. So the way the resolution is written allows for that flexibility.
Yes.
Currently?
No,
The new
what's
one.
before you right now, yes.
Okay.
It's changing it from essentially the first Sunday in May to a date to be determined in May, which gives you that flexibility if you want it.
So we've had this resolution pass. I'm not asking for any other change or modification except as to the date. The event itself will be exactly the same. And everyone in the city is invited to attend.
So I had my reservations with this event originally. I told you the first time you did it, which I believe was last year, and you had the 5 rabbis and you did a.
No, that
was
wasn't
that 2
an
years ago,
event.
maybe?
That was.
Hold on, just let me, okay, that was, you had Mayor Levine Cava here, and it was Solidarity. You called it something Solidarity, I don't remember now. But it was really nice. That was really, really nice, and it was a proclamation, and I really felt that brought the community together, and I would have preferred if you kept it at that level, but you kept moving the goalpost, and then it's gonna be,
that's not
yes.
the case.
Wait, Commissioner Joseph.
You said, can we
Vice
then
Mayor
have
has
some?
the floor.
Can we then have some cupcakes at the event, and then can it be an event? And then let's do it through a resolution, and now let's make it an annual event. And then you pick the date. And now you want it to coincide, and and it's like, we wanna be inclusive, we know everybody can attend. But, and you went through this whole thing about how it's not religious, and again, if I'm using the wrong words, I apologize, but you were saying it's Jewish versus Jewery, is that the right word? Like
Let's not get back into that.
Well, no, because that is what this resolution rests on.
Yes.
That this is not religious, this is cultural in some way, right? And now we can't have it because it's conflicting with something religious. The devout people
No.
Let
the
Vice
devout
Mayor
people will
finish.
not be able,
You're
the
incorrectly
particularly
twisting it.
devout people, the Orthodox, again, I apologize if it's not the right vocabulary, are not going to be able to attend on the Sunday that you designated. And now you want it to align with a holiday, and that makes it religious, Jerry. So I'm a no on that.
No.
Because
it's
we are,
not.
and you know I care about.
You
we-
were a
we
no,
try
but there
to-
were other
Let
commissioners.
Vice Mayor
try
finish,
to
please.
Try to be accommodating and inclusive, but also uphold the separation, right? And we've had this conversation in different ways. So I think now that careful, you threaded that needle super, super carefully, and now it's coming undone. So
No,
I
you're
am-
twisting it to
hold
make
on.
it undone.
I'm almost done. I promise you I'm
Yes.
almost done.
Yes, okay.
So not only am I a no, because now it's floating into religious territory, I would argue that we should amend it also with regards to it being annually. I think this can be in the budget as long as we can keep it cultural, I guess. But I think that we should have flexibility in there as well. So I would remove the annually component, and let's see how it plays out, because we've never done it.
Okay.
And if it's successful and we can keep it kosher, and I say that very tongue in cheek, right?
Okay, Wayne, one second, Commissioner Joseph, please.
Then, I'm not saying eliminate the event. I think we've been planning it, and it's worth a shot. I think it's premature to call it annually, and I definitely don't think we should be moving it to a holiday, because then we're making it religious.
Okay.
And those are my 2 cents.
Commissioner Lama?
Is there any other date that doesn't fall in the religious date?
No, that is the date that we can have the most people attend. I've spoken with the rabbis, and to have it on May 3rd, it would preclude Orthodox people from attending. So I said, let me bring it to the commission. I know Commissioner Viscara has heard unwarranted twist on this, which she voted no originally, so I'm not looking for her vote. But the other commissioners that voted yes, they should realize that this is just a date change. It's not an event change. It's only at the recommendation of the rabbis, Rabbi Amar, Rabbi Kaller, who said to me that if you want to have the most religious people attend and not preclude them from attending, then you should make it on the 5th. And I don't see the issue. For me, it's having it on Tuesday. I think that probably less people would attend because it's a weekday. But I'm also looking to try to include more people. It's not a matter of the holiday like Commissioner Viscara is saying.
Can it be in June?
I don't even know if having
why
it on
May?
the 5th would cause more people to attend. So if it's going to be an issue, I'll just leave it the 3rd.
All right.
And we can just pull it.
No, I'm just trying to understand. We had talked about May, and now you're talking about a date in May that's a religious holiday, right?
No, it's not. It's not.
It says
okay.
a joyous Jewish holiday celebrated on the 3rd day of the Omer
on.
count 18th
Yeah.
of Iyar.
No, I'm just trying to understand. But Jerry, so can it be in June, or is May what's?
People leave to go back up north the further you get into the summer.
Yeah, but I mean, school doesn't get out till.
No, I'm not looking to have it be in June.
No.
You know what? Let's just pull it, and
No,
I'll
I'm
keep
just,
it the
I'm
3rd.
just trying to understand. So.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's it.
Okay.
We'll just pull it and keep it the 3rd.
All
Thank you
right.
very much.
Well, I
All
would
right,
like to
thank
make
you.
a motion to remove the word annually.
No,
from this
it's already,
resolution.
I pulled the motion.
Why?
So it stands the way it is. You can't remove anything.
Okay, wait. Can we please, first of all,
I want to pull the item. Mauricio?
wait.
Well, it's
No,
been
no, no,
added.
no.
It's been added to the agenda. So you guys voted this into the agenda.
Right,
So if you
exactly.
wanna remove it.
Yeah, but it's not, it wasn't put on for
But if it,
any.
the city
any other
commission
changes
voted to
except
put it
the
on
date.
the agenda, so if it's going to be removed from the agenda, the commission would have to vote on that.
All right, so you're making a motion to remove it?
I'm making a motion to remove it.
Okay. All right, Mauricio?
Commissioner Joseph.
Yes.
To remove
Vice-
the item, right?
To remove the item.
Yes. Vice Mayor Viscarra.
No, we already discussed it. How are we removing it after we've discussed it?
Commissioner Stuyvesant.
Yes.
Commissioner Lama.
No.
Mayor Svechen.
No.
The motion to remove fails 3-2.
All right. So now we need to take a vote on the item?
No.
But you want to amend
I
it?
well, he says he doesn't wanna change the date now, but I would like to make a motion to remove the word annually, so we're gonna amend it.
No,
Let's
that's not
amend
what,
it.
Wait.
To remove
Hold
the word
on.
annually from the existing resolution
So-
that we're not, whose date we're not changing, apparently.
If I can just add to this conversation, because I agree with your frustration, and I like the concept of having a day of unity. However, putting it on Lag BaOmar does make it religious specific. And my concern is Lag BaOmar has a very specific tradition, which is bonfires. So there's things associated with this. And I don't want to send the message to the community that now the city is celebrating specific religious holidays unless we are willing to do all, which I am supportive of. But I think we have to be very, very careful that we don't let those two blend in. The prohibition is not to attend, it's to have music and dancing. So you could have a day of unity as long as, if it didn't have any music or dancing, everyone could attend. It's the music and dancing that's prohibited during this time. So it all depends.
not for
It all depends
everyone,
on the
for
kind
some.
of event you put on. So you can technically have it on Sunday, leave it on Sunday, and make it more of a solidarity with maybe presentations or so on and so forth, just not the dancing. But
we can have the dancing, just less people will attend. The
It's-
Orthodox people will not attend, and if this is how it's going to be, we will just leave it on the 3rd and have it be annually like it was agreed to by the commission, except for Commissioner Viscarra.
all right,
And let her put her
Commission-
twists.
Commissioner
whatever
Joseph,
she
Commissioner
wants to do,
Joseph, stop,
and we
please,
will
please, stop.
continue with it the way it was
Okay.
and leave it on the 3rd.
All right, thank you. All right, so we have a motion.
So I have a motion, leave it as it is, just remove the word annually, because it can stay in the budget, we can be considered, but we don't have other things like this through resolution annually, and I don't think we should be treating things differently, so.
Okay.
That's my motion.
So motion is on the table to remove the word annual. Do I have a second? Okay, so now we're going to vote on the change as it stands.
As presented.
It stays.
As presented, right?
Yeah.
So we still have to vote on it.
Oh,
Nobody make
okay.
a motion.
Oh, no, we don't. So
No,
we don't.
It stays the way
No,
it
we,
is.
well,
No,
no.
no, no. The motion, Commissioner, Vice Mayor Viscarra made a motion to amend the resolution to remove the word annually.
Yeah, but that died.
That motion died.
That,
So
but we still need
now
to vote on this
vote as it's
If-
as
presented.
is, yes.
If we have a motion, which we don't.
Right, which was,
We don't have
Okay,
a motion.
so I need a
that's what we're
motion
asking.
for this item.
I still have a question. Does this date move for this holiday?
Yes.
It moves every year.
Jewish
Moves every year,
holidays,
yes.
Jewish holidays are not
It's
based
not
on-
according to the Roman calendar, it's according to the Jewish calendar.
Okay. So next year, it could be
It
another
would be
date.
on the 25th next.
But are you always going to have it on this religious date?
That's what he's saying.
Yes,
And that's the issue, Jerry.
right, but he said he's fine, that's
You're
it. We're-
fine.
I'm
no.
fine with having it on the 3rd.
No, we're just going through the procedure because Commissioner Joseph has said he doesn't want to.
Okay, he wants to.
So
yeah.
we're just going to vote now on how it is. So I need it.
Not to confuse these, but what you're about to vote on, though, leaves it open in any time in May. The original resolution that you've all
And that was
preserved
fine,
on,
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's fine, that
yeah, that's fine, as long as you know, yeah, you're leaving
Okay.
it open-ended for May.
all
For
right.
the future, but this year it's gonna stay on the 3rd.
It's, right
No,
now,
it's
it's
open-ended.
changing, it's open.
open.
It'll be open.
If there's a motion.
Okay, so can I
So
get
if there's
a,
no motion, it stays with the old
Okay,
resolution.
okay.
yes,
Yes.
which is
There's no
open?
motion and no
No,
second, it
which is the
fails and it
first
stays
Sunday in
status
s-
quo.
No, it's not. The resolution as it is right now, not today, yesterday.
Right, so as yesterday's resolution has May 3rd,
Okay,
the first Sunday in May.
the first Sunday in May.
If there's no,
Yes.
if there's no motion tonight and no second,
stays at May.
that fails and status quo remains. So then that would be the
first
first
Sunday.
Sunday in May.
All right,
That's
so
why
for,
Jerry wanted
okay, so for the resolution that's on the table, can I get a motion? Item fails. Okay. Next item. Thank you.
Okay, good. So Stan, please.
Okay.
Okay,
be ready
thank you.
for the-
So now we are on,
Add-on?
no,
No, that was
the
the
add-on.
add-on.
So now we're on section 11, Citizens Forum,
Citizens Forum.
and we have David Virgil.
Okay? It's for your,
Good
we're gonna do
evening,
them at the end.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commission. My name is David Virgil.
Yeah, we can
My
do it.
address is 17500 Northbury Road, Sunny Isles Beach. I just want to say thank you for adding the time and the date to the streams.
Oh, yeah.
It makes it much easier to time keep now. I also want to say that the new city bus app has been working perfectly, unlike the old app, which had a lot of issues. So I want to say thank you again. And also, to go back to the water pumping stations, I would like to see them added as soon as possible. I know the cost has gone up a lot,
Right.
but it would really help improve the quality of life in the Central Island since the streets flood with little rain. And now, as we're going into the summer months, there's going to be more of that. So in a few years, hopefully, it could be resolved. And
It's
it
going to be
works.
done
Thank
correctly
you.
this
Yeah,
time.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you,
right.
David.
Vitaly Falkovich.
My name is Vitaly Falkovich, 9280 Southwest 167 Terrace, Palmetto Bay, Florida. I wanted to say thank you for keeping Sunny Isles Beach safe on the holiday of Passover. I've seen so many officers feel safe. You know, when I come here for work or to visit a friend, I feel a lot more safer than I feel in Miami Beach, yet they have a bigger police department. One of the things that I wanted to ask is that why is it that certain cities have 51% of their budget goes to their department of police department? I wonder why, as I look at the budget here, why is it such small budget coming here? And another thing is that I'm very thankful for having the new vehicles in Sunny Isles Beach Police Department. One of the reasons why, because of so much patrol, the vehicles were out very often. And I asked that one of the detectives, we can get unmarked vehicle for them because they're doing such an amazing job. And I'm definitely glad to be a visitor here. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers?
No other speakers, ma'am.
All right, so we had some items left over from the workshop. What we're going to do is we're going to adjourn this meeting, and then we're going to reopen our workshop. Okay? All right, so
Mayor, before we close this meeting, just to remind the commission and the public that next month's meeting, commission meeting, won't be on the third Thursday of the month as we normally do. It'll be on the 14th,
okay, and we'll,
May 14th, which is the Thursday before.
all right, let's just make sure that we put it out there as often as possible. Okay, so meeting adjourned. Don't leave, we have our workshop that we're completing right now. We don't need to take a vote to reopen, or do I need a motion to reopen the meeting? Here today?
Motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we're going to go back to the workshop that we did not finish. So we were on item, Mauricio, please, if you can remind us all.
We left off on item 3F, which is a discussion regarding the misuse of handicap parking tags.
Okay, Commissioner Joseph, this was your item?
Yes, hold on, I have to get to, 1 minute, please. Okay, here, which one is it?
Misuse of handicap parking tags.
Yes, okay. So the city of Hialeah has, and I'd like to follow their lead regarding their, there was a video. Mauricio, I sent you the video. Did you happen to see it?
No, I couldn't open it, and I forgot to tell you that I wasn't able to open that, Commissioner. I
Okay,
apologize.
anyway, let me see if I have it. Let's see. I actually have it on my phone.
Mayor,
Yes.
maybe I can help. We already do this,
Okay.
and I've asked code to step up the enforcement of it, but we do this on a regular basis.
All right. I
We
see
do.
that there are 112 citations from October 25th through end of April, I'm assuming? Oh,
Yes.
April 9th, there's missing okay.
I asked code to give us some statistics on it, so we've issued 112.
Okay.
Regarding illegal use of handicap parking?
Parking in a handicapped space without the proper sticker.
Yes, but, okay. So also, I would like for us to investigate whether we could work with the tax assessor, because they actually issue the handicap rear view mirror hanging parts, right? Is that who issues them? Dario?
I don't know.
Okay, I would like us to begin to work with that office to see how we could verify that these people are actually handicapped that are getting these stickers.
I can tell you that to get that designation for handicap, you have to come in personally as the handicapped person and swear that and show that you have disability from a doctor.
Okay.
And then they give it to you, and I think you have to renew it depending on the disability.
I mean, there are so many people I see from, and you never know what someone's disability is. But you go to, and I'm sure everyone else sees as well, you go to Costco and they have that first row is all handicapped. And you see people get out of those cars, out of expensive cars, and they just don't look handicapped. I mean, you never know if they have high blood pressure or whatever, or some other condition, but still, on the surface, these people do not look handicapped. So I'm just thinking a certain number have to be using these tags fraudulently.
Okay, but I think that it's not really incumbent on us to oversee another office of the county.
I would, Hialeah is doing something. I would like to follow Hialeah's lead.
What are they
if we
doing?
could. That's what I'm trying to get the video. There was a video, I believe it was on Channel 10.
If I may, I believe it was Miami Springs. I did
Yeah,
see
oh,
the
Miami
video.
Springs, yes. Hialeah
And
was something
theirs
else.
was people
Yes.
parking without the hanger tag, which is what we are currently doing. So it's not that they had something that
But I think
they
they
were not
caught
handicapped.
people also with the hanger tags that were not legitimate.
The video that I saw was they did an operation where they went to all of the businesses and were checking, and they stopped and asked people, and they had, I'm just running in for a minute type of thing, and there was more parking there without the hanger tag.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so I would like to, if we could, get in touch with Miami Lakes and see what they're doing and follow their lead.
Okay, but you don't know what it is that they're doing that you want to follow.
There was the video that I sent to Mauricio. It said exactly what they're doing.
But
So
what is it that we are going to vote on? What do you want us to support?
I want us to support enforcement of the use of handicapped spaces illegally.
Okay, so I think we have support from everyone on that. That's what we're doing. Okay.
And I will forward everyone the video if I'm allowed to do that, so you see exactly what it is.
I think Susan just explained it, but sure. Okay.
Yes, but you have to see it yourself. It's,
all right.
It's self-explanatory.
All right, and then there's one more item that's yours from earlier.
Yes, 3G is a discussion regarding public comments during commission workshop items.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, open workshop items. Okay, so I would like to have it where we have resident input during the workshop items.
Mm-hmm.
That you could also fill out a form and speak regarding our workshop items.
Okay, and what's
if everyone's open to that.
what's the reasoning? What's your
The
reasoning?
reasoning is because residents have an interest in some of our workshop items, and I would like to have their input.
Okay. How would somebody have input on this item, for instance?
On this item?
No, for the
On
one
the-
that we just spoke about.
Okay, well, they could say that they've also witnessed this situation, or they have a handicap tag themselves, and they, there was a spot that was being used illegally, and it didn't afford them the space. So I would like to hear that.
Okay, so just for clarification, I'd like the city attorney, just so that we understand what we're talking about, because I know it's late in the evening. So as far as, the difference between a workshop, what's the purpose of the workshop and the purpose of our actual working session where we take action?
Well, generally, I know we call it a workshop, but a lot of places call it a conference meeting, or the purpose typically is, this is your opportunity, a workshop, as we call it, is your opportunity to speak as elected official with each other. So it's kind of a conference meeting. So this is the only legal way you all can talk about things. And there's no action items, you don't make any decisions, there's no formal action that takes place. So essentially that's the purpose of it. You're not legally required to take public comment during workshops or conference meetings because you're not acting on anything. So, you can if you want to, but you certainly don't have to from a legal standpoint. And ultimately, again, generally as a practice, these conference meetings allow you to speak about these issues, bring up these issues, and if there's some kind of consensus, usually that'll be some follow-up action. So for example, here, if there's something to be done following that, that's going to turn into some kind of formal action where the public at that point has all the opportunities they can to speak on it, and so on and so forth. So again, legally it's not required, but there's nothing prohibiting it either.
Okay.
Well, I believe that we should restore the option of the people talking during the workshops. We had it before, this administration made that change, and it's true that technically we are not taking action because we are not voting, but we are voting to have consensus. Consensus is basically voting. We are voting, oh yeah, we have consensus to present this as a resolution, to present this as an ordinance. We should be listening to the people. It's more transparency. That this should have never had changed. We are right now basically shielding the people from coming and talking about the issues that are important for them. Many times we are putting discussion items because it is the public which is requesting us to put, at least to me, to put these discussion items for them. But then they are not able to speak about it. That doesn't make any sense. So if we can bring items to the agenda because the people is asking us to put those items, how come them they cannot come and present what is it that they wanted to say in the first place? So this administration decided to make that change. I think it's completely wrong, and I'm for opening to the public to be able to come during the discussion items and participate.
Okay.
Just one thing I forgot to mention also, you do have your public forum. So if someone, because the Citizens Bill of Rights under Miami-Dade County ordinances, which you've adopted in yours, addresses the ability of a citizen to be able to come and bring something to you, which they're able to do in the public format. It's a little different than speaking at the workshop, but I just wanted to make that distinction, that they're able to do that with the public forum.
And to the question of the mayor about what about the item that we just discussed, I have many times a mom, which I remember I sent the text to a stamp back in the days, that she has a child with disability, and almost every day when she was going to the school, the blue parking spaces were taken by certain vehicles. We sent the pictures, these people stopped doing what they were doing, but she was telling me about this issue. So if we are talking about these spaces for people with disabilities, that mom will be here, letting us know how it's affecting her child, specifically a girl with disabilities, when she goes to the school and she cannot park because there are vehicles there without any kind of like a permit. We're just parking there because it's convenient, and I understand. So if we have a discussion item like the one that he just brought, we will have that mom in here, and she should be able to be listened. So I do believe if we want to be transparent, we should be having the workshops open to the public.
Okay, well, for clarification, the workshops are open to the public, and the public has an opportunity to speak at the commission meeting. The public can contact us individually. The public elected this body to represent them. They do not need to come if they don't want to, because they can watch on YouTube. They can email us, and they are free to come to speak on any item, not just an item on the agenda. We've never prohibited anyone from contacting us or voicing their concern or their approval, for that matter. But I'd like to hear from the rest of the commission, because I want to remind everyone that at the end of the day, we're here to do the city business. And and I'm very supportive of having more public input. So if we want to, we are free to do town halls, to have that. We can add additional meetings in order to hear the residents. But as far as that as an example, that item, I get it. I understand that there is.
I found the video.
No,
It was
thank you.
Channel
I
7.
understand that. But my point is that the public needs to have a very specific instruction as to what it is they would be speaking on. And when we're just discussing, we are trying to discuss and speak amongst us. And we ourselves aren't even certain what it is we're going to be talking about, as Commissioner Joseph wasn't even sure what city it was. So to have the public come and speak on it in any sort of intelligent way is going to be very difficult and challenging for them. But let me hear from the rest of the commission.
I have a question.
Sure.
It's not like we just removed public comment and, we reshaped the whole thing. We used to have everything in one meeting, and then we would be here like forever. Right, like all the discussion items, we would have our agenda items, and the discussion items were at the end.
So we had our agenda reviews individually, which were not open to the
No,
public.
I mean, we had our commission meetings.
And then we had our commission meeting
with-
that was
with the
everything.
agenda items, like the voting items, and then all the discussion items came at the end of the commission meeting.
Remind me, please,
right?
Mauricio, they were at the end, right? The discussion items?
Yes, the discussion.
Okay.
Oh, we would do the proclamations and the presentations and the pictures.
At the beginning.
At the beginning. Then we would do the agenda items, and then we would do all the discussion items. Did we allow public comment on the discussion items? I don't remember.
I can't remember off the top of my head, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I
right
don't
now.
know, so I don't know if that's.
I do remember being here for many years, since 2016, sitting down as a resident, and before, we will have a back and forth with the whole commission at any time for any issue, resolutions, proclamations, discussion items, you name it. It was this commission, the one that stopped that. Until 2022, that's how we were. We were really open to the public. So right now, to the example of the parking issue. So if we're talking about at 3:30, now we want a mom to come at 8:30 to remind us what we discussed back at 3:30 about those parking spaces. Doesn't make any sense. We are here for the people. As of right now, the way it is, we are shielding the people of even having the staff like we used to have here over the years until 2023. So is this administration the one that has gone backwards in transparency? It has gone backwards in allowing the people to have access to the staff and to us. It's true that they can call us, they can text us, they can email, they can do whatever they want, but they have the right to be here and to be listened when we are having those discussions. That's why we get elected. So yes, I remember coming here for many years in that podium and being able to talk with the members of the commission.
Yeah, no, and I remember you speaking. I just honestly, I can't recall whether, I just don't remember, like whether discussion items also had the public component or not.
Mm-hmm.
But we restructured everything so that we would have the agenda review, which is public. We used to have them individual. So that's more transparency. Then we broke up all the presentations because we would use up like basically our best focus hours taking pictures, and then at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock we would start with the substantive things, And we were tired by the end, and there were still important things. So we restructured everything to allow for more transparency and also better focus for us on substantive matters. So I mean, it's just different. I don't have more to add to it because I would have to go back and review what we were doing before. But I mean, I think the workshops is really for us to be able to have a conversation for ourselves to be able to direct future items. And we just finished having a 3-hour one.
Okay.
Just us.
Right, if
So,
we had the public
you
comment.
know, the whole point was to make it more manageable, and we keep making it.
Wait, we are
more
here only once a
unmanageable.
month. So we restructure that. We should restructure because clearly it's not. It's,
Okay,
it's not
Commissioner
working
Stevenson, whatever.
because-
Hold
yeah,
on
but
a second.
then-
Let Commissioner
I
Lama
was-
have his.
I was going to say I was done.
You're done? Thank you. Commissioner Lama.
Yeah, I would like to see, if they want to participate, say any comments during well, we're saying workshops, but it's really agenda review, right? We're referring to, or workshops
No,
or
it's
anything?
during the
in
workshop.
general?
That they could write up a slip at 3 o'clock, at the 3 o'clock
Oh, you
hour,
ta-
between the
okay.
3 and 5,
Mhm.
and they could have
The
input
discussion item.
with us, to maybe add some good ideas. You never
Yeah,
know.
I'm okay with that, yeah. Now, what we really should be thinking is how do we get more people through those doors?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, transparency is one way.
Well, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah. Well, but yeah, I'm okay with people talking during our workshops. It's okay.
and showing openness to have people participate. We are shooing people away with our.
I mean, I wouldn't
Mayor?
say that, Jerry.
Well,
I mean,
May I?
they
Yes.
know.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to point out that all of our meetings are open to the public. They're welcome to attend. I keep hearing, for lack of a better word, stories about all of the people that want to participate. At our last agenda review, there was one person there. So where are they?
Yeah.
I haven't heard from them. I'm not aware that you've heard from them. So they're welcome to bring their concerns forward. They have a public forum now. Our last meeting went over 3 hours. So we can do this. We just need to probably start earlier, and we could make it an all-day event on Thursday.
well, we could see. Well, first of all, not a lot of people come, so we could let them speak. Obviously, we could structure in a way where obviously it doesn't go overboard when it comes to time.
But that's just it. So let me ask you a question, because this is in theory, it sounds great. But in practice, that's what we need to consider. Because right now, if I'm looking at the agenda items for the workshop, we all had agreed at a certain point that the memos would have some detailed information so that we all would have some information to discuss, so we would not be left with kind of, what are you talking about? We've gone to a place now where the memo barely says anything. So if you're going to expect, and again, I support the public participating. I would love it if this place was filled every single day, not just when people were unhappy. If you're going to expect them to be able to participate in a meaningful way, then it's going to be incumbent on us to create a memo that gives them all the information they need to know, not just a free-for-all of, well, I have something to say. Because at the end of the day, we need to stick to an agenda. Otherwise, we will be here indefinitely. And remember that the public comment comes first, and then will be our discussion. You understand? So it's not
No,
going to
I
be,
understand.
it's not a back and forth. So we have to be very clear as to what we're agreeing to.
Maybe Mauricio can take emails from residents.
does take emails.
Hold on,
Yeah,
let Commissioner Lama finish
Yeah.
if any other questions he
No,
had.
but what I'm trying to say is that whoever is present there, right, at our workshops,
don't have
sadly,
anyone.
it's not enough people there that come to our commission meetings. So, we got to see how we get more people through the door. But whoever's there, we could probably structure in a way where they do get to comment or ask a couple of questions, and not with the intent of extending it, so it's, let's say, all day or it's a marathon, but at least for them to have their say, or if they have an idea or an observation, for them to express that. I don't see, an issue with that. And then we could test it out. We could always, like, we always keep adjusting different things. We could adjust it if need be.
Just to add to your point, though, the code, you'd still have to follow your code, right? So you'd still have to, because your code says that, like what the mayor had stated before, that the public comment comes before you talking about an item. So if you have something on the agenda, it would have to be sufficiently clear what that item is, because the public wouldn't know what to say before you all even start discussing it. So you'd still, you might have to amend those rules, but to be able to change the way you're suggesting, you'd have to change your code.
Got it. Okay, well, we could try it out. I mean, yeah, I think that the public, whoever goes to that workshop, should be able to say something.
So that means we would have to then be very strict with our memo requirements.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the public needs to know what it is they be talking
I see some
about.
of these memos, and I'm like, okay, item to be presented. I'm like, we had talked about having at least some sort of paragraph describing,
right,
what that item is going to be about. And we're not getting that. So I think we need to stick to the rules that we put together, so there's order and it's fair to everybody, including ourselves,
That's what it is.
the
That's what
residents,
it'll be.
etc.
Okay.
And maybe we should limit the amount of discussion items, perhaps, that each one of us could put. Sometimes, I mean, I don't know. Can we put 10 on a day? I don't know.
Well, that's...
we gotta be cognizant of that. Sometimes, some of these discussion items, if it can wait for the next month, or I don't know. We need to look into that as well.
Some of the discussion items, if
There could be an email.
It really could be an email.
Could be an email.
And whatever. Yeah. I'm sorry.
You're
I'm
done?
crashing. Yeah.
Commissioner, I'm
So,
sorry.
Yeah.
Can you please mute? Commissioner, can you please? Thank you.
Okay. So where did we land?
I'm open to having the public, talk.
Okay. So does that mean limiting our discussion?
I remember what I was going to say. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Then we need to have like a hard stop. Then
yeah, there's no more continuation.
Correct.
Right.
And then so we can put, let's say, whatever it's supposed to be, and not have it per item, because then we'll be here. We could potentially be here like we were today, but I would be okay. I would be okay with considering, like, if it's not against our code or whatever, opening the public comment at the end. So that we do an hour and a half or whatever, and then public comment,
Or at the beginning.
Or whatever, but just not every item, because then
Right.
not per item, because then we will potentially just make this even longer. And like I said, today we were here 3 hours, just us, like no public comment.
Right, but then the public comment would be in the beginning, because it's not it's before we speak about an
Because
item.
that's what used to happen before, when the meetings went forever, and then public comment, there was like one person left, David. It was David,
Yes.
and that was, and
Right.
that was it. So even when we had public comment, it wasn't really an opportunity, because it was
lasted so
11:30
long.
by the time we got there, which is when we broke up the meetings. So
Can you turn that off? How can we have a better discussion about this? Because it's late and I feel like people are literally walking out. So that this is meaningful, because I don't feel like we've landed anywhere right now.
Well, I think it's kind of very simple. Today we have a workshop with a long agenda. If it doesn't make sense to say that we want to have more people here and we don't want them to talk, so what they're going to be coming for? It doesn't make zero sense. If you are coming, it's because there is an issue there in the agenda that you want to speak about it. Clearly, people are just now walking around and say, oh, let's go inside and see what is it that they're talking about for me to then participate. People will come if they can be listened to. We changed the rules of engagement. This has to be restructured. We have to allow the people to come and speak on the issue, on the agenda that is important for them. If we start at 3, we can say we cannot go after 5:30, whatever time that we put. And then if we have still some items, then we can pass it like right now what we're doing at the end of the commission meeting. So it's super simple. We had it like that. It worked for like 24 years, and we just changed it, or 25 years. And it was just recently changed, and people is frustrated about it. I am here, I am being listened to, and I am frustrated for them. Because I remember being on the other side. And just to remind you guys, after November, you guys are not going to be sitting down here, and you have 8 years of knowledge of being here. So there are going to be items that probably you know a lot about it, you have a lot to say, and it's going to be really helpful to listen to you. But guess what? If there is not open to the public, you guys are going to be sitting down there and you cannot talk during the discussion item. Does that make any sense? To not allow a former commissioner that have a lot of knowledge about the issue to not be able to talk? Or it's going to be different rules for different type of citizens?
Okay.
Think about that one.
I'm not against it.
Okay.
It's just that I don't know if it's up to the code, but I also don't want to pretend like the way that we had it before was working and perfect, because it wasn't.
Okay, well, for me,
I don't have my mic on.
I'm here once a month. I don't care if I'm here all day.
All right.
Once a month. Exactly.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Like, we don't need a motion to adjourn because these are discussion items.
So for the next month, we are going to have the people being able to come and talk to us.
Yes, so
During
we're looking
talk-
to open up the workshop. That's what we're asking.
That's it. Yeah. So
For
if
a
we want to
vote.
have people ready to come. Okay, so there is consensus, I guess.
Yeah, I'm open to it, and we could try it. And
Hold on a second.
Okay.
So procedurally, Mr. City Attorney, what information do we need, if anything?
Well, if there's a consensus to, I mean, again, we pretty much have to follow the code. I could sit down with the city clerk. I mean, just anecdotally, when I first started here 3 years ago, it seems there were a lot less discussion items. Like today, we had 7. So there may be some merit to limiting the discussion items if you really want to allow public input so that there's enough time for the public to actually speak. So you may want to consider that, but we'd have to go through procedurally and see how we work that out.
So let's start at 2 o'clock.
Okay, so
I'm
you
fine
can-
with starting at 2 o'clock
hold
instead
on.
of 3.
Yeah, the only,
Is everyone,
wait, stop.
yeah, you can deviate times for your afternoon meeting, not the nighttime meeting, but you can fluctuate times for your afternoon meeting if you want.
Okay, so you can fluctuate time. So how about we have the city clerk sit down with the attorney to put something together? Anything that we do, this is a great opportunity to really discuss how we have not been following our own rules. And we do need to provide an actual memo that not
Yes.
only the public, but that
So?
we collectively know what we're talking about so that we're not looking like we're scrambling up here
Just needs
because
to
we
be
can't.
more
1 second,
detailed.
please.
yes.
So that we're not just throwing a bunch of stuff that we kind of thought about. It needs to be something that is of substance, that we can have an intelligent conversation, so then the public can also contribute whatever it is they're thinking, so that it's not a discussion of what we think it is and the public thinks it's something totally different.
And if we could talk with staff before we put something on the agenda, so that if it can be an email, make it an email.
I agree to that as well. I think that we need to have discussions with staff prior to putting stuff on the discussion item, so that we can ask them some of the questions that unfortunately when we ask them, we have to wait until the next month. So do we have consensus on that?
Who is staff? That's the
The city
question I always
manager.
ask.
The city manager.
Yes, okay.
So are we okay with that?
Well, so we had consensus for the next month. The people can come, and whatever item it is in the agenda, in the workshop, they can
Right, but do
have
we
the
have,
opportunity to speak.
I think what we have consensus on is, let's see how it can be structured.
No, that's not what I
No,
understand.
that's,
Right.
no, we
Well-
want to start it for next month.
Well,
I
we
think
have
we
to
need to
see
know the
how it can be
structure.
structured first.
Like we had
We
it
already
before,
spoke.
for forever.
Huh?
We already spoke of it,
Yes.
that you have,
Alan, do you know how it's going to be structured?
Well, again, the city clerk and I could say, just logistically, we want to make sure that, we're set up for people to, like they do at the nighttime meeting, to be able to fill out the cards, and it'll be the same 3 minutes. And again, we'd have to have, I guess, enough information about the items so people know what, we're speaking of. And then,
More
again, I don't know if you want to limit the amount of discussion items, so
So-
you give a fair chance for people to speak on the items. I don't know.
Mayor, if I may. So I'll just go a step further and ask kindly that when you guys submit your items to me 2 weeks before, that week following, we meet together along with the city manager, the city attorney, the deputy city manager, to go over each of your items to see if those items are better suited to be discussion items, or if it's something that staff can address in a one-on-one or in an email, or if it's something that can just go directly to the 6:30 meeting.
So let's do that at the agenda review.
Well, no, I'm proposing for that to be
Let
done
the city
prior.
clerk finish what he was saying.
For that to be done prior. So the items are due 2 weeks prior, that Friday before, 2 Fridays before. So I'm proposing that we meet with you all, whoever has an item that they want to put on the agendas, whether it's a workshop agenda or the 6:30 meeting. We sit down, we discuss those items to see what's the best path to move forward
Okay,
with each of you.
I support
And
that.
it's helpful for us, like, for example, not to pick on you, Commissioner Lama, but the one item you had with the single-use plastics, I didn't get an opportunity to speak with you so much about the legal side of it, but it's helpful because if we could at least, we could still bring it, but that information is all forward and it's here available so that we can discuss it, and it's helpful if we can participate in that item.
And then to further add to that, oftentimes when you guys send me your information, a lot of times it's just a few words, a few sentences, and then I'm left to try to figure out what your intent is or what you want to actually have on the memo. So by meeting with us, that'll eliminate a lot of guessing, for lack of a better word.
All right, do we have consensus on that?
Yes,
And if that meeting doesn't happen, then it doesn't make it on the agenda.
right,
I'll leave that for you all to
Yeah.
decide.
I agree. Yes?
okay.
Okay,
Perfect.
all
So-
right.
Wait, I have one other question.
Please go ahead.
So at next month's workshop, we're going to have, if people show up for participation, for each workshop item, the resident would have questions. They would have their input before we have that discussion item.
Correct.
Right, okay.
So it'll still be structured the same way that regular city commission meetings are structured, where it's them presenting their comments. It's not a back and forth. It's not a conversation with the commission.
Right,
Okay.
correct.
All right, thank
Okay,
you, everyone. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
$500 for any after that. We'll be focusing on education for the next couple of months, but starting June 1st, our officers, along with our code enforcement officers, will begin issuing citations. Let's work together to keep our roads and sidewalks safe for everyone.
The drone is the first responder program here in the city of Sunny Isles Beach. It is the first contracted non-beta autonomous drone dock setup in the state of Florida. This new Skydio X10 dock, in conjunction with Axon Air, has provided us an opportunity and the citizens of Sunny Isles Beach a tremendous benefit. This is a game-changing piece of technology and enters us into a new era of public safety and protecting our citizens. We are able to respond to calls for service, emergencies, traffic crashes,